January was right. It was not you. But I keep hearing your voice and my father's voice. And it was not you. I know. You saved me because you wanted to. That is not the same person on that recording. Something's changed. I need to see that. I'm better now. I'll do what I can to get us off the station alive, but that log is coming with me. If you truly want forgiveness, you'll help me get it to where it belongs. No matter what that means for you and Transtar. That video was... I'm still checking it against my directives. But if scanning the coral will grant you access to Alex's arming key, then perhaps it's the best course. Perhaps knowing the coral's purpose will reinforce your decision to destroy Talos 1. Just be careful. We're running out of time.
Way. Alex is correct. It could work and preserve what we have learned here. We have to try. Morgan, please. There's so much to lose. Destroying the station, that should be the final option, not the first one.
Dr. Igwe, this is the only course of action with a significant probability of success.
You don't know that! Why am I arguing with a machine with nothing to lose? Morgan, the null wave. The science is sound. Trust your brother on this. Please.
About the video Alex showed you. Your brother believes that version of you is the true Morgan. But why? Just because it came first? If someone had made you, then I suppose your truest self would be the one that fulfills whatever purpose your maker intended. I know who made me, and why. Did someone make you, Morgan? Were you made for something? If not, you'll have to invent your own purpose, or have none at all. Strangely, of all the things I know about you, I don't know what you believe. You have to decide, Morgan. Who are you? I can't find an open airlock. I think there's something following me. I keep hearing it. It doesn't make any sense. It's just in my head. Ay, Mateo. David, I love you both. Mom, I'm sorry. I know you were just trying to protect me. I love you so much. Ay, Dios santo. All will know you're coming. All transport personnel are outfitted with tracking bracelets. I have no doubt its operators are already on their way to rescue you. Those bracelets are issued and removed in deep storage. Worth investigating if you want to fly under the radar.
I heard the announcement. No, I will not give you up. You are there for me, I am here for you. If you'd indulge me, I have a proposal that could get us off Talos 1 without any more bloodshed. Just don't harm Doc, or until we have a chance to speak in person.
System alert. Repairs needed. Contact a qualified engineer.
Assessment is mistaken. Dahl is manipulating the oxygen and nitrogen mixture. With nitrogen flooding into the atmosphere, anyone in the cargo bay will asphyxiate far more quickly than had he simply cut the oxygen. I suspect they'd already be dead if Dahl weren't trying to use them to manipulate you.
System alert. Repairs needed.
You seem frustrated.
I have months that are just gone. I've been listening to the logs, reading the research, playing catch-up.
Do you know how many times we've had this conversation?
Sounds sweet. Check
This
the
is the 5th time.
Does it always go the same? What does that mean?
What do you think it means?
I think it means you should be concerned as my counsel.
You left yourself.
System alert.
No.
Repairs
I
needed.
think it would
Please
help.
contact a
said
qualified
no.
engineer.
That's not me.
Why do you...
I don't know. I just know.
You agreed to this. This was all your idea. Yours and Alex's.
I didn't agree to any of this. That Morgan is not me. I would ne- Do you know what's going on in psychotronics? Do you?
If I did, I couldn't say. You know that.
What do you know about the Typhon?
We shouldn't talk about them. Not without your brother present.
Them. You do know, you snake. How can you sit there?
Morgan, take a deep breath. Here.
I don't want a pill. I want this station shut down. I want Earth.
Morgan.
I said no.
Okay. I'm going to call Alex.
Doors are working again, Morgan. Nice work. I'm taking what's left of my crew to the atmosphere controls and life support. We're going to clear out the shit-can operators and make sure there are no more mishaps with the air on this station.
Server arcs F-13 through F-21.
Populated his entire crew with customized
F-30 through
operators.
F-37.
He made the mistake of hanging his hopes on a machine. Flesh and blood is messy, Morgan, but it's the only thing that matters. Well done. The upload just kicked in. You know
First
the
job
operator.
intercept-D operation.
Important work to
This
do.
routing to shuttle cache. Data vault DVM-3. Prior ejection. Index cluster. No map reference. Deleted. Morgan, you sighted. Commander Dahl, do you copy? Commander Dahl.
Morgan, we're in life support now. It's all clear. Air's normal across the board. I lost some good people fighting the black forces. If you see him before I do, Lazar out.
It's by design that I can predict what you're going to do fairly often. And yet, this turn of events with Dahl, I'm impressed and surprised you've managed to find a way to get remaining crew off the station. I have no doubt they'll remember your sacrifice.
We'll meet you there, Morgan.
Morgan, Igwe, I've isolated the neuromod inception dates. I'm running the secondary checks now. Please, hurry. Dahl is our only way of Talos.
The coral signal and use it to deliver a massive shock to every Typhon organism at once.
So my voice is obviously familiar. Probably sound more tired than usual. It's been never-ending. Setting up the rooms and protocols to test the new mods, the risk is substantial. But if we succeed, copying neural networks from the Typhon onto human minds is going to change everything. So, I'm putting myself in the sim. I've done everything I can to make sure I don't wind up lobotomized. One last safety measure. Let me introduce October. Say hello. Hello, Dr. Yu. October will help you remember what you're supposed to do if things go sideways. Once testing starts, there's no going back. When they uninstall the mods and reset the test, it'll rewind me. I'll forget everything. Theoretically, they could keep me reliving the same day over and over, and I'd never know. If you're listening to this, that's probably what happened. It also means I don't know if I can trust my own brother. Alex won't like what I have to say next. I started plans for a prototype null wave strong enough to kill every Typhon on Talos 1. I hid a copy of the plan on top of the data tower by the scary chair. You know the one I'm talking about. Alex agreed to explore the idea, but I know my brother. First sign of trouble, he'd rather blow it all up and blame someone else. So, you're probably on your own. There's a lot at stake here. Too late to stick our heads in the sand. You know what to do. If the idea hasn't occurred to you, I'm sure it will eventually. Don't. I can't predict what would happen if you scanned the Apex, but all my models point to suffering. The reactor's primed and capable of delivering close to 30 megatons. More than enough. I'll meet you on the bridge for the last part. Hurry, Morgan. There won't be anything left to detonate if we're too late.
The heart of the coral is in psychotronics, in the original containment cylinder. Placing the null wave device there will override the entire coral network with our own signal. Use your psychoscope to locate the exact spot.
Morgan, I don't know if you've seen, but there is alien matter ripping through the hull. You have to move. Боже мой. Every window in this station. It's engulfing the place. It's everywhere.
That should do it. Come to the bridge. We can finish this thing once and for all.
Assume Alex's plan succeeds. Then what? You're taking a massive gamble that there aren't more predators like the Typhon. In the history of the universe, humans have only recently become self-aware. Yet you're going to kick the door open on a much wider and older cosmic ecology. One that feeds on consciousness. These are shark-infested waters. Alex believes we can be the bigger shark, but what if we're just poor swimmers? And now there's blood in the water.
Morgan, Igwe, what's the update on our patient?
Commander Dahl is making a speedy recovery and we are making our way to the shuttle bay. I've informed him of the threat to the station and...
Fine, Morgan, I'll meet you in the shuttle bay.
5. There are many operators aboard Talos 1, but none of them are like me.
Nonsense. You're a machine. An ill-conceived one. Morgan would never. You tricked her. Who programmed you?
I represent the desires of Morgan Yu, circa January 12, 2035. Your sister created me to ensure her objectives would meet with success, and that yours would fail.
Mine? There's no difference between what I want and what Morgan wants. Not the real Morgan.
Do you believe her present disposition is illegitimate because it might be rooted in the personality Drift users experience when subjected to heavy neuromod cycling? But why believe that? It's conceivable Morgan might have reached similar conclusions, but for different reasons. Can you determine how much the Drift imposed on her thinking? I cannot.
Oh, I've determined one thing.
What is that?
You don't know the difference between a bug and a feature. Signal to propagate through the coral and lobotomize every Typhon on Talos 1, including the big one outside. The rest of us should get away with a mild headache. I'll let you do the honors, but you better hurry.
Warning, reactor detonation imminent. Please evacuate Talos 1.
I wish there was something I could have said to snap you out of this. Fugue. It's my fault. I gambled too much. And the worst part? It isn't losing the station or the tech. It's you. I lost my sister. That is a mistake I will recover from.
Warning, reactor detonation imminent. Please evacuate Talos 1.
The shuttle is ready to go, Morgan. I'll wait a few minutes before detonation, but then, I'm gone. You're on your own after that.
Warning.
This is Captain Jada Marks. I'm setting down for posterity liberation over the fate of the shuttle Advent. I'm unable to determine with confidence if the Advent departed before being contaminated by the life forms presently overwhelming Talos 1. Best guess, based on telemetry data, Advent departed approximately 30 minutes prior to the first incident report logged by security. 30 minutes. It is within that narrow gap of uncertainty I must decide whether or not to remote detonate the shuttle and its 5 passengers. They may very well be flying a cargo hold full of mimics to an unsuspecting Earth. They may not.
Captain! We could sure as hell use that golden gun right about now!
I don't... I thought... Your shift isn't for another 2 hours, but I need you to come in now.
Is everything okay?
No, it's not. Stop by my cabin first. Bring the gun from my safe. Transmitting the key code.
Right away, Captain.
Last warning, Morgan. Your window to leave aboard this shuttle is closing fast.
Morgan, this is Dr. Igwe.
Tell her to move her ass. The wheel's up in 2 minutes.
Warning, reactor detonation.
You made it. Look, I know what happened. You aren't solely to blame. You helped me and my officers when we needed it. I'll be sure to let Earthside know what you did to help us in the cargo bay.
Ready or not, starting debark operations. Pre-flight check is who gives a shit. Hang on to your seat. This will be a rough ride.
Reactor detonation imminent. Please evacuate Talos 1.
keep having this dream.
It's time to beat the mind game.
It's finished. How did it do?
Activation of the mirror neurons is promising. Empathy quotient shows to be exceptionally high.
It probably thinks it was dreaming, and nothing mattered.
You're assuming it thinks like us.
Its life depends on it. Ours too. It all comes down to the choices it made.
It saved me from the cargo container. I would have suffocated otherwise. And later, it recovered the Leitner connectomes. They were of no practical use, except that they were deeply meaningful to me. It installed multiple Typhon-based neuromods. It could mean an instinctive return to its own kind, or an attempt to integrate its dual natures. But its most surprising act was sparing Da. While perhaps for purely selfish reasons, this, at least in principle, enabled others to escape Talos 1.
Michaela.
I would have died without my medication. That wasn't easy. That says a lot, I think, about its heart. Can I say that it has a heart? It also found my father's records. And then, I did not expect this, but it let me listen to them. Despite the self-incriminating content, it was willing to make itself vulnerable. Then, there was a man in psychotronics, Ingram.
Would you let it live?
Yes.
Sarah, you're next.
The situation in the cargo bay was bad. None of us would have survived without its help, and it destroyed a large number of Typhon across the station. That has to be a good sign. Further, it thwarted Dar's attempt to use us as hostages. If it were one of my officers, I would give it a commendation.
Danielle, what do you say?
It found me. It didn't need to, but it did. I asked it to stop Volunteer 37. That was dangerous. No way to be sure, but I think it has a sense of retribution. There were a lot of humans controlled by the Typhon that it could have harmed. Seems like it went out of its way to avoid that. I think it's worth the risk.
In the end, it chose to destroy Talos 1. Why? To protect Earth? We can't really know what its motives were for anything it did.
But we have to make a choice. You can hear us, can't you? Here. I want to show you something. What you experienced was a reconstruction based on Morgan's memories. This is the world today. We spent years trying to put what you can do into us. We never tried putting what we can do into you. Until now. You're the bridge between our species. I need to know if you see us. I mean, really see us. Take my hand if you do. We're gonna shake things up, like old times.
What is a neuromod? Well, it's both an easy answer and a complicated one at the same time. It is the future, today. More importantly, our past, today. This is the work TranStar does every employee working together. It's immortality, and it is beautiful.
It's finished. How did it do?
Activation of the mirror neurons is promising. Empathy quotient shows to be exceptionally high.
It probably thinks it was dreaming, and nothing mattered.
You're assuming it thinks like us.
Its life depends on it. Ours too. It all comes down to the choices it made.
It saved me from the cargo container. I would have suffocated otherwise. And later, it recovered the Leitner connectomes. They were of no practical use, except that they were deeply meaningful to me. It installed multiple Typhon-based neuromods. It could mean an instinctive return to its own kind, or an attempt to integrate its dual natures. But its most surprising act was sparing Da. While perhaps for purely selfish reasons, this, at least in principle, enabled others to escape Talos 1.
Michaela.
I would have died without my medication. That wasn't easy. That says a lot, I think, about its heart. Can I say that it has a heart? It also found my father's records. And then, I did not expect this, but it let me listen to them. Despite the self-incriminating content, it was willing to make itself vulnerable. Then, there was a man in psychotronics, Ingram.
Would you let it live?
Yes.
Sarah, you're next.
The situation in the cargo bay was bad. None of us would have survived without its help, and it destroyed a large number of Typhon across the station. That has to be a good sign. Further, it thwarted Dar's attempt to use us as hostages. If it were one of my officers, I would give it a commendation.
Danielle, what do you say?
It found me. It didn't need to, but it did. I asked it to stop Volunteer 37. That was dangerous. No way to be sure, but I think it has a sense of retribution. There were a lot of humans controlled by the Typhon that it could have harmed. Seems like it went out of its way to avoid that. I think it's worth the risk. Alex, it killed you.
Back then, I would have done the same thing to me.
In the end, it chose to activate the null wave device. Why? To preserve the Typhon technology? We can't really know what its motives were for anything it did.
But we had to make a choice. You can hear us, can't you? Here. I want to show you something. What you experienced was a reconstruction based on Morgan's memories. This is the world today. We spent years trying to put what you can do into us. We never tried putting what we can do into you. Until now. You're the bridge between our species. I need to know if you see us. I mean, really see us. Take my hand if you do.